And he was particularly amazed by a part of your story in which you change the direction from your interest in medicine towards cellular biology. So he would want to ask you what were the motivations or the experiences that you have that led you to make that decision.
Thank you, Isaac. Before I went to university, I was really just so interested in microbiology. And that was the origin of that story with the microscope. Every year I did a science fair project, entered into local and state competitions. And so my motivation was because of a passion for biology. But I had no family members who were scientists or educators or physicians. But having grown up in a Jewish family, the idea that their eldest son would become a real doctor was, I'm sure, a source of inspiration and pride for my parents. So naturally, when I went to university, I thought, okay, well, I want to become a physician. But in my first year at UCLA, I took an introductory chemistry class, and the professor was really inspirational, and I did very well in the class. And as a result of my grade in the class, I was assigned to an honors section. Taught by a famous Nobel by the name of Willard Libby, who had invented carbon-14 radio dating. And but the really important part of that class was that every student in that honors section was given an opportunity to select the laboratory of a different chemistry professor to work for that term. And I chose the laboratory of a young beginning faculty member who was working on bacterial viruses. And so I remember I walked into his office the first day, and he said, well, you don't really know a lot about the work that I'm doing, so I want you to read this book. And so he gave me a copy of what became a very famous book. It was called The Molecular Biology of the Gene. It was the first edition of what became a very important textbook by James Watson, one of the discoverers of the structure of DNA. And the book was remarkable. I read it from cover to cover, because it treated the subject of molecular biology and the emerging discipline of understanding genes and chromosomes in a way that was not done in a standard biochemistry textbook. And so this book changed my mind completely. That 10 weeks experiencing working in the laboratory and reading that book convinced me that, no, I wasn't going to be a physician. I wanted to be a scientist. So I came home that summer and told my parents that I wasn't going to be a real doctor, and they were disappointed, but they got over it.